Kroger closed.
Man, I'm so pissed off when they stopped being 24 hours.
Nah, I'm pissed off that they moved all the stuff around.
They did.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Vibe Controllers Podcast. Bird B, Cocky McFly, Fifth Child, out here.
I'm over here looking for condiments and goddamn school supplies over there.
You know how people talk about their like first world problems? Like I be having
Definitely
midlife problems.
That's it. Because when I go in Kroger,
That didn't irritate me before.
I've learned the aisles. I want to go in there, get me a little barbecue sauce. I know where the meat at. Don't take me down the damn cereal and it got canned on it.
I'm upset that they have downgraded the security. Because let me tell you, it is some regular niggas in there working security.
I was about to say just enjoy the scenery, but the scenery during the day and on the weekend is not like the nighttime scenery.
Look, man, at night
different.
they look like what they been through.
But they killed it when they took away the little lounge
ain't in the bed
where they used to go and get coffee in the morning.
Man.
And they took away that little spot. They killed.
They used to where James
man, James ain't got nowhere to sit no more.
You don't even come in there no more. Welcome to the Vibe Controllers Podcast.
Kick James Meredith out.
Thank y'all so much.
Again.
I mean, did they kick him?
Badooms.
They ain't kick him out.
I'm sure along his journey.
Hell yeah, they kicked him out.
Somewhere.
Anyway, thank y'all for tapping in with us.
That was so good.
This is episode 40 of the Vibe Controllers Podcast, season 4. I go by the name of Cocky McFly. That young man across the table from me, that is my brother Merk B. Williams. Merk, say hey to the people.
Hey man, I was gonna do my thing, but that man said James Meredith got kicked out twice. That is the joke of the day. I hope you post it.
Do not post it.
I will not.
Thank you.
Y'all
I'm
stay
a
safe
public
out there.
figure.
Thank you.
I did want to say something. Oh yeah, get some aluminum in your deodorant. We sick of that shit.
Also, this evening we have Fifth Child in the building. Fifth Child, say hey to the people.
Bonjour.
Hey,
Bonjour.
come on,
Mon ami.
You got
Why they always make sacre bleu? Like, why all the French people in the country be saying the same stuff? I ain't never met no French person.
Hey, they be intent. Everything is with emphasis. Like that's hilarious.
Wee. Catalina. The dress. Anyway, yeah, man,
Nobody ever used that shit.
shit, I do. That shit is delicious. But anyway, man, and marinated in some chicken. Tastes delicious. Anyway, man, thank y'all so much for tapping in. We gonna talk about, first of all, happy birthday to the Briarwood Arts Center.
The blessed and anointed center
Happy
is 1 year
birthday.
Amen.
They had their first annual.
Yeah, that man. At least you said it and didn't spell it.
Ooh, they had the first birthday party yesterday.
It was great, brother.
It was
let me tell you.
magnificent. Man. It was a beautiful time.
The community came out, and let me tell you, you brought them out. You brought them out.
And what they mean is he brought out the dignitaries and the wonderful people.
He did bring them out too.
Yes.
The ribbon cutting and everything.
Okay, we out here.
Oh, sorry.
Out here.
You know, this what happened. We ain't seen each other in a couple weeks. So we really up here catching it. This really was happening.
And we couldn't talk yesterday because
it was the birthday party of the back. The back birthday. The first birthday. It was a magnificent event. Congratulations to you, brother.
Thank you.
On 1 year of stepping out on faith.
That's for real.
yeah,
That's for real.
Moving by faith, not by sight. Thank you, God. And we just happy for you, man. You really brought the community out. It was a beautiful day. The weather was magnificent. It wasn't too hot.
Perfect weather.
It was beautiful. The children had a ball. Like, shout out to Eddie, right, and the taco people. I don't know them people. The taco truck.
La Taqueria.
Taqueria.
Shout out to them.
I was real fat. I got food from both
They
places.
set it out. I mean,
The snow cone.
the snow
cone
cone
there too.
spot.
And that was a pleasant
Shout
surprise.
out to Thank you, Herb, for DJing. But I mean, it was
This man really called himself DJ Daddy.
DJ Daddy,
Right.
Look at this.
Was it? It was Roy Ayers.
Yep.
Roy Ayers album.
So
Shout out to the
man.
vendors too.
Oh yeah, the vendors pulled up. I
Yeah,
mean,
ooh la la.
the volunteers.
They had vegan cheesecake in here, bruh.
The volunteers.
Pretty bloke.
The volunteers
Okay,
really
pretty blow.
did their thing too. I mean, volunteers had it. You didn't have to do nothing.
Man, and I really can't talk enough about our volunteers because they even at the meetings leading up to it, they were like, oh yeah, you can't do nothing, you stay over there, we need you to be free to to mingle and speak to people, kiss babies and all that. We got this. That's legit. They're like we got this, you go over there. And I mean, seriously, from securing the sponsorships to the graphic design to posting about the birthday bash to writing the press release, all the setup and breakdown. I mean, even you saw times when we would be meeting about other ventures and stuff like that. The volunteers, they took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And so all these people, when I say volunteers, they're really, really doing this out of the kindness of their heart. And a lot of the folks in the room, I say about 80% of the people in the room when we have our volunteer meetings are folks that I did not know 8 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are people who were legit strangers to me, but came by, whatever compelled them to come by and tour the space and just hear our story. They were inspired by it. They took it and ran with it, and it's really become almost like a family.
Yeah.
For real. And that's how we take care of each other. And I'm just excited to see what's happening in the future with this group, and as it continues to grow, how it continues to expand. But I told them, I was like, okay, so look, I know we typically have our volunteer meetings on Tuesdays, and tomorrow was supposed to be a big meeting for everybody, even folks who weren't associated with the birthday party. But I was like, no, on Tuesday we just turning up. I'm gonna feed y'all and get you drunk. So we're gonna celebrate all this hard work. So I'm gonna buy them some Applos and get them drunk.
Okay.
All right, buy him some apple. Let me come on over here and get me a grape leaf.
Hey, y'all. Everything. I just saw cars over here. I ain't know what was happening.
Right. I picked up a piece of trash. While I'm shouting out volunteers, I also got to shout out two of the unsung heroes of B.A.C, and that is Hood and Dennis. Y'all have a clue what I'm talking about?
I would like to know. I'm waiting on you to who are Hood and Dennis?
Hood and Dennis are the two unhoused gentlemen that are at the gas station next door.
I feel like I met Dennis. Who is Hood? Which one is Hood?
They both white.
Okay.
Hood has a hat on all the time.
Okay, so I saw him behind the establishment.
Yeah.
I saw him
man,
making sure it stayed clean.
I'm dead serious. I'm not even playing.
And, Dennis was over there today before we got here. He was picking up trash and all that stuff. And they actually, ever since, that's pretty cool. I ain't know them dudes' name, but ever since that, you had the, you sent out the APB for folks to come and help clean up. Mm-hmm. They have kept it up since people have, since that particular day or whatever.
Because trash was still accumulating over there. And I was like, man, we did all that work, and why is there still trash all over the place here? But I was like, oh, maybe because they don't have a trash can. And so I went to Walmart and bought a 32-gallon trash can and a bunch of trash bags. And I was like, well, I don't trust people because this garbage can will grow legs. I'm not stupid, Mm-hmm. So I chained the trash can to the fence, and I changed the trash out when I take the trash out from here, and they use it. They drink their beer, man. They have a beer in their hand every time I see them in a brown paper bag. And they finish the beer. They walk over there to the garbage can, throw it in there, and then I have a little cooler right beside the garbage can. I'll be putting snacks and water in because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. Yeah. They'll go ahead and open up the cooler, take out the water, drink it, finish it, throw it. So it's really just about and seeing the humanity in people, talking to people, you know, when I see them, it's like, oh, good morning. Oh, you know, how you doing, man? Feels good outside today. You know, I'm not gonna ask what you got going on today.
Yeah.
Nigga, what you think I got going on today?
Like,
Drinking in front of this gas station and sleeping outside. But no, they and you know, even talking to Hood yesterday, because I was telling him, hey man, you know, we got, you know, this party going on today. We're gonna have food trucks, and so if you when they pull up, if you want something, just find me, and I'll get you something to eat. And he was like, yeah, man, I appreciate that. You know, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna keep everything clean out here for you. And I'm like, yeah, bet. And so he was just like, yeah, man, I was watching the game, you know, earlier, and Ole Miss beat so and so. This was, I was like,
I'm not gonna ask. Look, you know what? I'm not gonna ask how you watch the game. I'm just gonna go along with it, my boy.
He was like, yeah, you know, and I come from, I bleed red and blue, man, because I went to Ole Miss. Both my parents went to Ole Miss. My kids went to Ole Miss. And I was just like, man, you hear such fascinating stories from these people when you see them as like people and not just like clutter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would say I've grown a lot in that aspect because I really lumped all of them together. I saw anybody who was over there at that gas station as the same people that set it on fire.
But you know, typically, if you and we were talking about this at work last week, we were kind of analyzing the Clone Tyrone movie, and that we were talking about Frog. And Frog, for folk who haven't watched the movie, Frog was the wino in front of the store. And typically in neighborhoods, the wino, the smartest dude, he one of the smartest people.
Yeah.
Period. But he see everything, you know, he just drink a lot. But like, if you hear stories about him, people always tell you like, hey, I went to school with him, or such and such like that. Like, oh, he was super smart. Like, all these things. And those dudes be like that. Like, they be damn near geniuses. But they just, you know, the life skills. I know we going off on something else.
No,
but, you know, just the life skills and circumstances and stuff, they can't put that shit together. You put them, you know, hey bro, can you do X, Y, Z? They tearing that up. But it's like,
and I mean,
other stuff.
And there's people that we know personally and have known for years that are like this. Like, I have a family member,
I mean,
close family member who was like freakishly talented at whatever instrument he picked up. Whether it was a trombone, whether it was a bass guitar, whether it was whatever. Freakishly talented visual artist, like could draw anything. You know what I'm saying? Super duper smart dude. Got strung out like
just
decades
different
ago, you know?
Yeah. But you know, I'm just glad that you and them people be like, I ain't lose man, you know, in a good way. They just, you know, they gonna remember you because you treat them like they human. You know, you're not asking what you got going on, all this other type of stuff. Like, bro, you good? You need some water, and you straight, and they gonna make sure they take care of you. So shout out.
Yeah, Hood and Dennis. That was really a point I had to get to. That was an area of growth for me because that was something I struggled with. I've never been one of those people who, especially in my adulthood, saw the unhoused community and really felt compassion for them. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the people that I would see, like when I worked in my previous job, I would get off on the Lakeland exit and I would see the same people there earlier than I was there every day. And I'm like, you waking up before I do, you staying out here longer than me, bro, you might as well have a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did not feel compassion for those people. And so then I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna give them some food. I ain't giving them a dime, but I'll, you know, put some snacks in my car. So as I'm riding by, you know, and I'm gonna ask them their name, I'm gonna pray for them and say that, but I don't feel compelled to like give them money like other people do, right?
Yeah.
And then I would see, when we got over here to B.A.C. and just seeing how destructive they had become over there at the gas station, I was like, man, I can't stand these people. And then they would, you know, leave trash. A dude stole my welcome mat, you know. And a lot of times, this was the crazy part, is like it would normally be white people.
Really?
Oh, the only homeless community I see around here
Not
has been white people. There was one black dude that was just sitting in front of the building one day, like, and I was like, "Hey man, you gotta go." He was like, "Or what?" And I'm like, oh, "Man, I got my pistol in my car. I really don't feel like shooting this dude today, though."
Cause it'd be a lot of them, like, you right, cause most of the black people are down in like downtown train station, like they down there,
because it's close to the shelter.
Yeah,
and the shelter first come first serve.
They kind of around there, and then you got some down by, well, I ain't gonna tell, you know, which state, but over there down the street.
North
Jackson.
Jackson.
North
We got
Jackson.
the Briarwood one building, that huge building that used to be straighter, and it's like it's several floors of, you know, but they busted
in
all
there.
the windows
They done busted
out.
the windows out.
They done done some everything in there.
Yeah,
That's the same
they
way
live in there.
That's
like,
the same way downtown. That church on High Street.
Yeah.
They live in there.
Wow.
But here's the crazy part: the church is addressed as a shelter. Now, who is running it? Nobody knows. But it's like addressed as a business. But like they kicked out the back doors and the side doors.
Yeah, man.
And they housing in there in that big old church.
And
matter of fact, any abandoned building that you probably have seen in the city of Jackson,
They
there are
in
probably some unhoused people that live in them. Like even old, just like gas stations, just like this, like the one on State Street. It's literally right down the street from City Hall, the courthouse, the police station, where the old Trustmark used to be. And yeah, it's sad to think about, but.
And man, I was already just having, you know, ill feelings about them, and just being destructive and stuff, right? And so I came here. I had a meeting that I was supposed to go to one Friday morning, and I was like, oh, let me stop by B.A.C. real quick and make some copies. And I walked up to the door, and there was a huge pile of human feces.
In front of the door. I remember that.
A humongous pile of human feces. And man, I got so mad. I'm like, the whole parking lot, anywhere in the grass, anywhere around these premises, but where you decided to
I
do
don't
that
think I want to
was
shit on
right
no concrete,
in front
though.
of our door.
Or in front of nobody's door. Like, why would I do that in front of somebody's door?
Right in front of the door. And man, when I was in a hurry to get to me, I'm like, man, I'm gonna deal with this after the meeting. And so I went, and the person that was speaking at the meeting was the outreach director for Stupot. He was the homeless outreach director, a guy named Tommy Brown. And I was like, man, I was supposed to be here today. I was supposed to be here today because the stuff that he was saying, it went directly against my experience and my feelings about these people. And I'm like, I needed to hear this because, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, it's like, I understand these people are in a situation and they're human and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm pissed off and I don't feel that way, but I'm gonna go along with it because you said it. But I'm gonna also put this, I'm gonna lay this in front of God. And so what I decided to do was start putting a portion or all of my tithes, donating it to Stupot. And that was a challenge for me spiritually because I knew how I felt. But I was like, I'm gonna be obedient about this.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna go along with it. And since then is when I built these relationships with these people and have seen like a physical change in the space, and seen a change in how they respect me, how I respect them, how they respect this space.
Yeah.
And we share this corner together.
And they probably, you probably saving their lives too. They give them a little, some type of purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To get up and I got something to do other than what the norm is. I'm gonna make sure this area is clean and these people cool and they can be safe when they come over here.
And Buddy not gonna let me starve.
Yep.
Like I know. All I gotta do is leave the lid on the cooler open. When he come through, he gonna fill it up.
And he gonna make sure I ain't, I ain't thirsty. Like
help me, help you, help me.
Right.
Because we switching,
we
switching the mood. And let's talk about the hype men. Do we have to do that anymore?
What we doing?
Man, don't do that.
All right, I got it. I'm good.
Y'all had to edit that.
All right, yeah. I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm finna bust the speaker.
cause if we talking about hip hop historically, like, you got your hype men as like Spliff Star and stuff, but they kind of like be performing, so they going with the like they you do that, or if you got a rap group up there, they know where to come in. You know what I'm saying? But then now I guess when you be at the parties and stuff, and DJs be, cause some folks like really good DJs, but they just don't talk well, but they be trying to talk, and I don't think everybody can do that. Like sometimes people just need to be. Why people be wanting to be? Why do folk even have hype men, or are they necessary? I think they're necessary to some extent.
I definitely think that's necessary. I think that you just need to know how to do the job. That's just really what it is. Especially if you have a microphone in your hand, you need to be a part of whatever is going on. Like if you come in and you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get the shine that you need to get. I think a lot of times people get that microphone and they want to shine, they want to make it about them, and they want to do something that's gonna bring all the attention to them, and that's not kind of how it works. It's just you show up and you do you. Especially like, for instance, if you have a microphone and you got a DJ, that DJ is curating the party. Like you just go and compliment that DJ in whatever way that you can. You going wherever the DJ going, and Lord, by all means, please do not be doing all that unnecessary ass talking over the song. Like, that is super annoying, and a lot of folks do that. The people can't even enjoy the music because you talking through the whole song. And I get, especially like with R&B stuff, you singing songs and you hyping people in a way. There's a way to do that, but we don't need you to just be talking unnecessarily over the goddamn song, because you become an annoyance and a distraction to the vibe at that particular point. So be a part of the vibe, but you ain't got to be. If you'll be a part of the vibe, you'll be the vibe. You'll be the vibe.
No, you won't. Just don't do the shit. Just come and have a good time. Sit down somewhere. You not supposed. They hired people to do this. You not supposed to come up in there.
I agree with that too. Like, if you
grabbing the
paying
mic,
people to do
they pay
what
people
they
to do
supposed to
that.
do, you random people just want to come up and start grabbing the microphone and stuff like that because they might be the nigga folks know in that city or whatever the case may be. That shit is annoying.
Well, that's fine that people know you, but you wasn't hired for this particular.
But I'm just saying, that's just, I don't know. But anyway, whatever.
I don't think it's looked at as like a skilled position.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, people
In
assume
certain
that
places.
you don't.
I'm gonna say in certain places.
Well, no, I mean it is a skilled
Oh,
position,
yeah,
but
yeah,
people
yeah.
don't think it because just for me, just sitting down, seeing somebody, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'm sure people feel the same way about comedy. Like, I made my friend laugh. I made my friends laugh when we be talking, so I should be a comedian.
That shit. Man.
You know what I'm saying? I sing in the pew, when the church be singing, I sing along with them, so I should be, I could be a singer.
But you suck.
Right. There's a very
man.
huge difference between
You suck.
being funny or making somebody laugh and doing comedy. Like, comedy ain't just being funny. It ain't just making people laugh. It's an art. I think that you have to be funny to be a comic, but being funny, it's a part of being a comic. And a lot of folks, because in my opinion, we have a lot of people out here being funny that aren't comics. And if you don't know what comedy is, you'll think that's what comedy is until you get around comics.
Right.
And you find out real quick that there's levels to the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, because folks just, they want you to, they think you're supposed to tap dance, jig, and clown, and all that other bullshit. Like, nah, man, it's an art, it's a skill, it's a sport, it's beautiful, It's nuanced and all of that, and it take a lot of work to get to whatever level that you're trying to get to. And I don't think enough people. That's why I'm grateful, and probably cheap plug. Shout out to the workout room. I'm grateful for the workout room because, especially in this place, because we don't have comedy clubs or whatever the case may be like that, and so you have to create the space to be able to do the work in the way that you need to do it. And the workout room is that space. It's a space where people are in there literally working on their stuff for real, whatever it is that you do. And I always say that if you, whatever art that you in, you're supposed to be inspired by other artists. So it's poets, singers, rappers, whatever in there. And it's a respect thing too. We're gonna respect the mic. It kind of goes back to that. I'm not saying that that's what the workout room is. I'm just saying that 7 taught me, what it was to respect art and respect the mic, and so on and so forth. But I think that's kind of like, I think the workout room is going to be important because we can pass that on. But yeah, anyway, that's my TED Talk.
What would you say is your current role with it?
In the workout room?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I didn't know really until I think coming into it, when she kind of talked about what she wanted to do, I was obviously grateful to be able to have a space and place to work out and work on my stuff, so I can be prepared for the stuff that I got coming up, in any way, shape, or form. But it's actually helped me grow in ways as a comic I didn't know that I needed to grow. Like, just being around people who are really good writers is making me a better writer, and a better joke teller. And now my nephew, he did his first set or whatever, and so I guess mentoring now too. But the biggest thing for me, I think my role is to just be available in whatever capacity that's needed for that space, whatever that looks like. I may need to be a mentor this day, but I might need to come and, bring the energy back because it might be a little low. I might need to work a little harder, or, I might not need to go up. I might need to work the door if I have to, what I mean? Or I might need to record some folks and get some content. Just whatever is needed to continue to help the space continue to grow. And you get your blessing from that, you know what I'm saying? And so I guess that's what my role is, just whatever I need to be. Security too, if I need to be there, because I ain't out here living anyway for nothing. But and then just getting it out there, man. It's really a super dope space and place, man. I'm glad we talking about this because this makes me think about, because it's running through September, and then a lot of people are asking, like somebody asked me yesterday, what we gonna do when it's over with? Well, we gonna keep working, but it's like, okay, there's a void there, because if you've been consistently knowing every Tuesday I'm about to work out, I mean, it ain't no different now. It's just like going to the gym. You're gonna get stronger, you're gonna get healthier, you're gonna get better. So yeah, we might need to be at the back. Well, we might need to be at the back, and no, not on Tuesdays, because that's Tuesday Tuesdays. But
another reason I'm asking, and just thinking about the future of the workout room, that stuff is really important, going back to the documentation part. So there was a club that in New Orleans when I was in school there that I perform at all the time, this historic club called Tipitina's. And so when I would perform at Tipitina's, even being like, completely unsigned, a college student up there performing, they had a camera up near the sound booth. And they would just get one shot recording you at every single set, And then at the end, I mean, this, like I said, this is a long time ago, so they would put your whole show on a DVD. and give it to you at the end of the night. And so it was like you didn't have to pay for it. It was just like it's just footage. Like, I mean, you know, we want to collect because the way they see it is like these people could be huge one day.
Yeah.
And we want to, you know, get some of their earlier footage. They didn't keep anything. They just gave it all to you. But it allowed you to see yourself on stage and say, okay, well, I see how I could have been moving, you know, a little bit better here. I see I could have worked on my transitions here, my stage presence, blah, 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 blah. And I saw just how important that was. And so I wonder if that's something that in the future they would consider doing. Because you really don't even have to have nobody to man it. It's like it's just setting up the camera, letting it run.
Well, it's kind of happening in a way. So what happens, you know, when you come and you visit, like, you can't record. Like, you respect the people and they are, because there's a lot of folks working out original stuff.
Yeah.
And so you can't record. Now, there is a photographer there documenting or taking pictures, and she's also recording as well too. Mm-hmm. And so what Rita does is, like, if you have a set or a song or whatever, she'll get it to you or whatever. She'll send it to you. That's your stuff. You do that's your content. You do what you want to do with it. If you performing, you can have somebody record for you or come set your tripod up or however you want to go and do that as well too. So it's available in that particular regard. Not necessarily through the venue, but hey, you can come and record your stuff and keep your content. That way you can do what you want to do with it. We're not trying to keep it. We're not trying to do none of that stuff. But we also, we want you to put it out. We're not going to put it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why if once you get a recording, hey, what's your email, your social media, whatever, I'm going to send this to you. You do it. Like, so we're not putting your stuff out there. You put your stuff out there. But people will see that you was at the workout room, and that's why it's starting to grow, and a lot of people are starting to show up, and artists are starting to show up as well too, new and established. I'm gonna say old, but new and established as well too, because you know, no matter how long we've been doing this and how well we've been blessed to be able to get at it and successful too, and that's gonna continue to grow. We still, it's a humility in that something about that griminess and that you still gotta work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want to not be in a space where I'm not trying to do the work.
Right.
Still. Because those spaces, especially open mics, it's always gonna have a special place for me, because if it wasn't for an open mic, I wouldn't be here right now. So, yeah.
You know, I mean, I would do, since you say that, like, well, no, I did do a good bit of open mics.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Well, they had you doing them. I said, this man ain't doing no poetry. He just reading his lyrics.
that did happen before. Absolutely. I was never the.
They had my boy at the church, he ain't even rapping. I'm like, man.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Get the bag.
Those spaces do exist now, though. Like, I feel, even a year or two ago, these spaces, it wasn't as prevalent, and you had a lot of artists who we'd be like, oh yeah, you need to get better, but it's like they didn't have really a space to grow like that. And so now you have things like the, you know, like verbal verses, like the workout room. I know artists that go to McBee's, you know,
the thing is, they've
got the smoking something lounge, something that's
108.
The spaces have always
Synergy even coming back.
The spaces have always been there. Now the black, you may not have very many black spaces, prominent black faces, spaces, but like, what's that? Like Fenians always has done open mic. Like, they've done it for years. There's a whole bunch of spots around here where they do open mic. It's just, you know, some people ain't comfortable enough with what they do that they are scared to step out there until that other, you know. So,
but they will be surprised.
That's my
Like,
point. Like, that's my point. Like,
yeah.
like all them, it's a bunch of open mics going on, but it's just, with them, they are looked at as white spaces, so they don't go and perform their stuff there or stuff. But that's one of the places where you probably gonna get a whole bunch of support. Like, they looking for stuff like that, and people, a lot of folk just never kind of, you know, have gone to those places. But there are, there have been, we're familiar with the spaces that are black that have been created primarily for black artists to have a space, like your Sevens and Synergy Nights and stuff like that, which is fine. But I think, folks also need to, like, you can't get better, doing the same rooms. You gotta test yourself in some other rooms too, and some people that may not be accustomed to. And honestly, I found that doing open mics in places where don't nobody know me is a whole lot less nerve wracking than doing it in front of a bunch of people who I know me.
And really kind of going along with what you're saying, like this thought just popped in my head that I won't argue with the fact that Jackson, Mississippi is probably not the best place. Is not the best place to blow up, but it is an excellent place to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
It is an excellent place to grow.
Yeah, and it's easy. Like, all you gotta do is just get out here.
If you show some effort, it's like there are opportunities, and there's not gatekeepers like that.
Yeah.
You find people who you find a community of people who want the same things as you do, and because it's so small, it's like people's BS detector is like already like, oh no, I know that nigga, he ain't about nothing, he trash, and it's easy to do that. Whereas in other larger markets, like, you could be getting a runaround from somebody and have no clue, no earthly idea, and so I'm to be honest, when I was in New Orleans, I was doing well. Yeah. I was doing really well as an independent artist, performing at hip hop shows. Like, I mean, I was open for Drake while I was in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the crazy part, because you could live there and make a living because of the type of shows and things that come through there.
Yeah,
like Truth Universal. I know, but he literally has made a living. Like, if you're a rap artist, specifically like an underground independent rap artist, you coming through New Orleans.
Well, truth is that dude. Yeah. Because when I was just saying, like, I used to perform at hip hop shows at Tipitina's. Those shows were homegrown nights curated by Truth Universal. That's what it was called, homegrown, curated by Truth. So that'd be like me and D1 and G-Eazy and 3D Nati, and it's like people who stayed in New Orleans and are doing very well for themselves, And I always thought about it, like, when I graduated, I wanted to keep working at the job I had while I was there, but they didn't have any openings. So I moved to Atlanta for 3 awful months and hated every moment of it. I hate that place with all of my heart and soul. And when I moved back, and I mean, even when I was in Atlanta, and it's like, I remember doing an open mic at Apache Cafe, acapella. I ain't even have a beat. I just went acapella. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, people's jaws were on the floor. Like, yeah, bro. Where are you from? Like, people beating on the stage.
That was that was at the height too, because Apache Cafe.
You see what I'm saying?
You could file in there and fuck around and get a deal.
Right.
Like, it'd be who's who in that joint.
Right. But I left. I left Atlanta, came back here, and I'm very thankful, because I still had a lot of just life and a lot of things that I need to learn. So I don't regret not being in a larger market at all, and I see my purpose as far as, like, helping others.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm very thankful. And I think that it's something that I would have resented when I was younger. I'm like, man, these people I used to be on shows with, and it's like, I mean, these are my peers, and they like popping, but Broward Art Center would have never existed.
Yeah, and it's just like you the dudes who play ball with LeBron ain't tripping because they ain't LeBron.
Right, exactly.
It's like, bro, I got a chance to be out there, but my purpose is It's different. You know what I'm saying? I think that like D1 still making a living,
and these
rapping.
folks worked hard, and I'm telling you,
like,
they worked hard.
He was out here, and I mean, with the type of rap he was doing wasn't popular.
No,
still
no.
He has made a lane for himself where he is doing well for himself, being able to, like, doing what he does.
Yeah.
And G-Eazy too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all these people, like, worked hard doing them free shows, doing them shows for, we're gonna give you some gas money,
And I think, to your point, that's cool for people in these spaces here to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to tangibly be able to see people who are at a level where they're still growing, but they got something to reach to. Like, yo, I can meet Fit. That's a nationally recorded artist. You know what I'm saying? It's been on, nationally syndicated network, so on and so forth. That's Merc, and he been on Comedy Central. That's, you know what I'm saying? Well, among other things or whatever. Then you got Rita, who was on tour with Sid and Ricky, and Nardo, countless people. Laura Walker was in there. You know what I'm saying? It's so many folks in there. You had Tate Nations in there yesterday. This dude, a photographer. You know what I mean? Shot some photos for people all over the country. Photographer of Mississippi Braves, primarily. Just countless folks in there. And you don't ever know who's gonna be in there. But as an artist, you see people who are, are from here. Like, I like the saying that you have. You know what I'm saying? I ain't local, I just live here. You know what I mean? Which is a mentality thing. But I think that's dope for artists to see, especially now. Like, when we show up, when the Vibe Patrollers or Fifth Child or whoever show up in these spaces and places, there's an homage, I guess, to us in a way. And we just like y'all. You know what I mean? But it make you think like, oh man, I have been putting in the work. I kind of deserve it a little bit. You know what I mean? I ain't got to dwell in it, but like, appreciate that. But just wanted to be able, because somebody else went through the trenches so we could have it the way that we had it. And we went through some stuff so we can make it easier for these people too. And that goes also to your point about, you went through all of that to find your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
yeah,
you really did. And so without those, not just back doesn't really exist without those experiences, but your purpose doesn't exist without that. And just like, you know what, I'm really supposed to be helping people, and I may not know what that looks like, but you know what it feels like. I know what that. I know in my heart, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Now I have to go through the process and trust it to figure out how and in what capacity that I'm supposed to do that. And so now you got this space where you helping all kinds of people. Hood and dentists, you helping them just like you helping the Vibe Controllers. And it's in whatever way that help looks like. And that's kind of what B.A.C is for. B.A.C is really here to help the people in whatever way y'all can help. And that's super dope. So,
all right, man. So that's it. That is the end of episode 30. I'm sorry. Episode 40.
40.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Episode 40, man. We appreciate y'all just tapping in with us. Thank y'all for your continued support. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, and you can follow us on Facebook. We need y'all to bump up them Instagram followers, so tell you folk to follow us, and also subscribe to our YouTube page. And you can now catch us on all streaming platforms.
Man, insert the applause.
All streaming platforms.
So are we making that announcement?
All streaming platforms.
Okay, we did the director, the creative director. I be ready.
We gonna say that. We gonna make
ready.
a whole post So
Right.
but yes, we are now.
Who make good reels?
I do myself. Yeah, but we are now on all streaming platforms. So you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on MySpace if they got that shit. We on everything. Y'all can
Everything.
Y'all can check us out. Merc, what you got coming up?
I have a lot of things.
Just tell
coming
the
up.
people what you
I
got
do.
coming up.
Man, don't cut me off. Don't ask me and then cut me the fuck off. Like,
You
don't do
didn't,
that.
you didn't ask you. Did you have a lot?
I do
what
have a-
do you have coming
Let me
up?
talk the way I talk. Like I don't. You mad? Golly.
Don't care.
Golly, let me answer the question. I'm gonna answer the way I want to answer it. I have a lot coming up. I sure the fuck do. There's a lot coming up, man. I got a bunch of shows, man. I'm all over the place. The biggest thing I want to point out, though, 2 things. 3 things, really. Follow me on social media so you can know everywhere that I'm gonna be. But the biggest thing, man, we want y'all to come out this Friday. We got the Crush the R&B joint going on with Nasty Show and Cujo in the mix. So y'all come out, turn up with us, man. Have a good time. Tickets are available right now on Eventbrite. It's $10. $10 tickets on Eventbrite. It's BYOB. You can bring your own drink, all that other good stuff. And we just gonna kick back, have a good grown folk time, and all that other stuff. So y'all come out, hang out with us. We ain't gonna be there for a long time. We're gonna be there for a good time. And September 23rd, check your local listings for my segment with America's Black Forum. It debuts in full. The trailer is out now if you want to follow them. So it debuts in full on the Stellar Network on the 23rd of September. So that's big as well too. And I see my brother's Keeper on the 30th, along with the Taste of West Jackson as well too. We got that on the 30th as well too, among plenty of other things. So yeah.
5th child.
Please answer the way he wants you to. Shit. The fuck? I just asked you to answer a question. Just answer the way he wants you to, then.
Well, you know,
So
niggas
it's,
don't
it's
listen.
constantly stuff going on at Briarwood Art Center. I don't like to tell people when I'm traveling, but I'm excited about it. So I'm doing that at one day. I'm not gonna say my dates, but I'm going to the Book of Hove exhibit
Of course
in
you
New
are.
York. Of course I am. Right?
Duh.
Of course
you
I am.
Who's shocked? Nobody.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. But got a music production workshop, B.A.C. coming up, Breakbox and the return of that. And just as we move into year 2, trying some new things as far as programming and continuing to evolve, listen to the community, saying we can serve better and just provide like really, really dope curated small batch events. That's what's coming up.
All right, awesome, man. As always, we are recording live from the Briarwood Art Center. So y'all make sure y'all follow them on all social media. Check out the website as well. See all the events coming up, and then you can also there are some opportunities to donate, and you can also become a member. There are some membership opportunities as well. So check them out too. So, as always, we like to leave you with a little nugget, with a little something to kind of carry on through the day, through the hour, through the minute, whenever you're listening. And I don't know who doing the nugget today. It's your birthday. You gonna do the nugget.
We should all do it.
It's your business birthday.
We ain't did no nugget in a minute. We should all do one.
I'm with it.
Okay.
I'll start it. Trying not to be redundant. Use the nugget I did
Listen,
before.
let me tell you, if it's good, let it bless us again.
Okay, yeah. So I got it. So August 27th, I can't tell you why, but that's the day, every year that I rewrite my goals. That's like my new year.
You celebrate the New Year, August.
Yeah, August 27th. That's when I like just reflect on what I've accomplished since the last year, August 27th, and rewrite my goals. And so I try to take a Stephen Day where I don't do nothing else except what I want to do, just completely unplug on those days, so I can just reflect and just spend some time in talks with God and stuff. And so I went to the reservoir and I was writing down my list as I looked at my older list, and I was writing stuff. And then it's like the voice of God speaking to me like, okay, everything that you're putting on there is stuff that you could already have accomplished anyway. Swing for the fences. That was exactly what I heard. Like, nah, swing for the fences. You're putting Steven-sized goals on there. Put stuff on there that you can't even take credit for. Swing for the fences. And I'm like, dang, okay. Well, I don't think this is achievable, so I'm gonna write this down. This is what I and yeah, and so that's kind of my motto, at least for the next year. So you may see me like doing some really ambitious, really big stuff because it seems like it should be unattainable, but my guys is different.
There it is. All right. What's your nugget?
My nugget is right is better than fast. We tend to try to rush things that we do, and we try to get ahead of schedule, and we just try to do things at a pace to where we end up making mistakes, and we have to come back and like fix a lot of stuff. You can stop doing all that by doing it right the first time. Like, don't rush yourself. Take your time. It's all in God's time, and to make sure you do it right. Right is better than fast.
All right. And so my nugget is the box that people try to put you in is for them, not for you. Fuck that box. Oh yeah, one more, because I saw this on Twitter. Therapy don't work if you lying. The end.
Thank y'all so much for
Did I lie? Did I lie? Let me tell you. I ain't get to do my stick early, but greatness is in the building. That's all I'm saying.
we thank God that he's always in here with us in the business.
He is. Every time we record, I'm in here.
Got it.
That's right.
Yeah, you on some other shit.
Every time greatness is in here.
That's some Beelzebub shit right there.
I'm great.
All right, man. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. We appreciate y'all again. Yeah, episode 40. That's it. Merc. Oh, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay free. Y'all share that shit. All right, two fingers up means peace to the side, because I'm chilling. And ain't nobody here to say it.
But we are.
But we are.
You
And
gotta do your
Steven
part.
is. So,
You got to say it.
I'm here.